Hey, good evening everyone. Rob here from Southwest Florida Television. We had a beautiful Sunday morning here at the beach. I've got some good news. The park rangers said that officially, the red tide is no longer here at Del Nor Wiggins. The red tide warnings have been taken down from Del Nor Wiggins Pass State Park. We do have red tide in other areas. Don't get me wrong. Pay attention to what I just said, because there's been some really foolish comments being made. I am saying there is no red tide at Del Nor Wiggins, according to the state of Florida. And anybody that wants to post something negative and argue, you will never watch another video on Southwest Florida Television. And we are going to enjoy what we have of a sunset this evening. See some big rainstorms out there. But there's quite a few people out here shelling. Look at this. Huge sandbar out here now this evening. Now it does, I'm going to say, it does still have the aroma of the dead fish here. Even though they've raked them up, you can still smell dead fish out here. I'm not going to say it doesn't stink. But thankfully the red tide has moved out into the Gulf. That doesn't mean it can't come back. It can always come back at any time, because it's always out there lurking in the Gulf. All it takes is for the winds to shift and blow it back on shore. But as of right now, they have removed the red tide warnings from Del Nor Wiggins Pass State Park. I wish I could say the same for the areas to the north of us. Up in Lee County, it is awful up there, absolutely terrible. It is heartbreaking what's going on with the water up there. They are dealing with far worse than the red tide up there. They are dealing with this blue-green, this toxic blue-green algae. It's disgusting. And that something needs to be done about that. There's lots of groups and organizations banding together to put an end to this lake, these Lake-O releases. So get on board with one of them. Beautiful out here though, even with the storms out here, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Looking for some shells here, but not seeing anything yet. We found some nice little treasures this morning during my beach walk. Some nice little shells. Where I'm at right now, in the mornings, the birds are all sitting out here, so I really can't come out on this little island. Got some pretty nice colors out there. The sun is actually, I think, a little to the north over here, behind where those rain clouds are, where those storm clouds are. But nonetheless, still gorgeous out here. Just needed to come out here and de-stress. And I probably won't be doing that many beach walks this week. The time that I would usually be out here on the beach, I think I've got to use that a little more wisely. I got to use that time to go visit Roy at the hospital. The past 4 days I've really fallen behind work-wise. I've got some clients jumping down my throat because I have a couple projects I need to get done for them. There's a beautiful little scallop shell down here. A little tiny scallop shell. Excuse me. Still stinks of those dead fish out here. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't stink. Seeing anything? Seen anything interesting?
Not so far.
Nothing yet? Yep. Ooh, there looks like a big slipper shell over here. Wow. You know me, I'm always picking up those slipper shells and showing them to everybody. I just think they're so cool. The slipper shell. That's a pretty good size one. You flip it over and you're going to find out why they call it a slipper. So yeah, it looks like a little slipper when you turn it over. Very cool. Well, that water is warm. I forgot to check what the temperature was. Somebody wants to check that and share it with our friends here watching. But look at that sky, isn't it beautiful? Even with the storm clouds, looking back to the east. Yeah, beautiful. Those patches of blue. Then we come around to our thunderstorm out there. Then back around and some beautiful colors over here. Gorgeous. Painted skies. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna snap off a quick photo. Don't go anywhere. Hang tight. I'll be right back. I have returned. See, I wasn't gone long. Well, it was great seeing Roy today. I didn't want to put too much pressure on him with the live feed down there, but I did want to just show you that he's in good spirits. And it looks, everybody keep their fingers crossed, keep praying. It looks like there's a good chance the antibiotics are going to kill the infection. So that's some good news. Maybe he won't have to undergo any surgery. Won't that be wonderful? I know we could all chip in and get Roy a smartphone so he could watch our Facebook videos, but the problem is teaching him how to use it. That's the challenge, not getting him the phone. I'd love for him to be able to have a phone so he could watch these videos. But teaching him how to use it, I don't know. That would be a challenge. Hey, here's a cool turkey wing shell down here. Oh, it's got a chip in it. Missing a piece of it. Still a neat little turkey wing shell. We saw a few of these this morning on the beach during my beach walk this morning. Found a couple moon shells, nice little moon shells. We also found a neat little alphabet cone this morning, an alphabet cone shell. That was a nice little find, something a little different that we don't see every day. There's lots of little things buried in the sand here. You can see these folks over here digging into the sand, finding some neat little things. But this morning, where I am standing now, I'm going to turn around here, look back out to the water. This is where we saw all those birds. That little video I shared this morning, this is where all those birds were sitting, right out here on this sandbar. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful sight. Definitely, I'm gonna have to take a photo. Don't go anywhere. Beautiful. Look at those clouds. Beautiful cloud formations. And a big thunderstorm to the north on the right there. Haven't seen any lightning yet. It's really neat when we see those flashes of lightning out there in the Gulf. I'm gonna take a little walk along the beach here. See if maybe if there's any neat shells washed up during the daytime in our last high tide. Right now it's right about high or low tide right now. But we're up in Area 4 again. One of my favorite places to start my beach walks. Although I do start down in Area 1 now just because of the hopes of seeing some sea turtles. We had a sea turtle hatching today and I was up at Wiggins Pass and there was one all the way down at the opposite end of the beach this morning during the daytime. That would have been so cool to see. I'm not really seeing any kind of shells here. It's actually kind of dark on the beach. It's deceiving. It's much brighter in the camera than it is out here. But some beautiful colors out there, that's for sure. Absolutely gorgeous. Just never know what a sunrise or a sunset is going to look like here. Always different. I'm going to take a photo. Hang tight here. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, I'm walking in the water. Why wouldn't I be walking in the water? There's nothing wrong with the water here. Absolutely beautiful. The red tide warning has been lifted at Del Nor-Wiggins Pass State Park. Listen closely to what I just said. The red tide warning has been lifted at Del Nor-Wiggins Pass State Park. I didn't say it was lifted from anywhere else. And it can always come back with the turn of the wind. Just because it's not here right now, it can blow back on shore with a big storm. Let's keep our fingers crossed it doesn't happen. So neat out here. Look at that column of rain down there to the south. Isn't that neat? Isn't that beautiful? What a sight. What a sight. That is gorgeous. Sorry, just taking a couple photos. I can see that you can stay on the beach all night if you have an annual pass. You buy an overnight pass, you can have 24/7 access to the beach. However, there's no camping on the beach. Camping is not allowed here at Del Nor-Wiggins. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, you'll see our park rangers over here making their rounds, telling everyone it's getting close to closing time. The park officially closes at sundown. Now, they are a little lenient. They give you a few minutes. They let you stay here, of course, to watch the sunrise. They know everybody comes to enjoy the sunrise, the sunset. So they're a little lenient. They give you 10 minutes to get out of here after the sun sets. But if you don't get out of here, you will be spending the night in your car. They lock the gates and they'll leave you in here overnight. Looks like there's a nice little conch shell down here by my feet. Let's take a look at that. Oh, look at that. It's half a conch shell. That is really cool. Really cool. That is a great look at the inside of a Florida fighting conch. Very cool. There's the back side of it, the Florida fighting conch. And there's the inside of it. How cool is that? Very neat. Here's a piece of worm rock growing on an old oyster shell. Look at that. That is also very cool. An oyster shell with some worm rock starting to grow on it. Isn't that neat? That is very cool. Beautiful out here. That is so neat, that storm down there with that one little column of rain just pouring down. That's looking south. We're up in area 4, just offshore out on the sandbar. That is so neat. Another nice looking little scallop shell down there in the water. We find lots of these in the morning on our beach walks. Well, let's see what happens out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous out here. Just bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, I see some people stuck around. Sorry about that. I had somebody messaging me, and it was an important message. Nothing about Roy. But I'm going to give you a look. I'm going to give you a 360-degree pan around here. A nice slow look around. See, we have another rainstorm just to the south of us here, right over in here. See that? That's getting fairly close. Pretty neat. Look how those greens are popping out over there. See that big column right there, that big shaft of rain? And we come around, looking to the east. Looking at Roy's Area 4 beach. That's where our buddy Roy hangs out. Looking up to the north now. And coming back around. Looking out into the Gulf. I think the sun is actually just over in this area over here. Still some beautiful stuff happening out there. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous cloud formations. Wow. That is so neat, that column of rain right there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Let's see if I can zoom into it. See that rain? Just a big column of rain. Starting to move offshore now. And if I slowly pan over here to the right, you can see some more rain. Isn't that beautiful? I think I feel some raindrops hitting me right now. Not many. Yeah, quite actually starting to pick up. Starting to feel a few raindrops. Looking down to the south. Got some clouds lighting up over here. See that big orange? They're hidden behind the trees over there. A lot of times, you always got to remember to look behind you when you're at the beach here watching sunset. Sometimes the sky back here to the east just explodes more than out in the Gulf. It's amazing what happens sometimes. We're getting rained on here. Not very hard. Actually kind of feels good. I'll be sure to say a prayer for Roy tonight, as I'm sure most of you are doing. All the little birds are starting to show up again here on the island, the little sandbar. There's a lot of little sandpipers running around out there. How beautiful. What absolutely beautiful colors. I apologize for those interruptions, but I just love taking photos when I'm out here. I want to pan around here. I have been seeing some lightning flashes over here to these clouds to the right here. we see another flash. There was one, a little flash out there. Our summer thunderstorms are incredible when they're out in the Gulf. It's like the 4th of July. Look at, absolutely beautiful here. Now it's not really blue sky here. The camera kind of does that. It has a hard time. It kind of makes the clouds look blue. They're more of a gray. It's still beautiful. You can see the rain moving offshore. We watched that column start way back there and move off into the Gulf. How beautiful. I'll take one more picture. Don't go away. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. I don't know what happened. The Rangers raked up the dead fish on the beach, but they left a few piles, and they're right behind me. And they stink. Whew! They definitely stink. But for the most part, they've cleaned up the beach, but they forgot a couple piles out here. Ugh. Very, very stinky. There goes a jet ski flying by here. Maybe you'll see it. There he goes. See him there zipping across? I just think that looking at those rainstorms out there is so neat. Just the sheets of rain. Isn't that cool? Sheets of rain. Well, it's probably getting time to head out of here. I hope you enjoyed this impromptu little sunset walk on the beach. Wasn't much of a walk, but there's somebody wrote Florida 2018. Well, no, wait a second. What did they write? Ah, that's pretty funny. They don't have a very good vocabulary. Fluoride 2018. That's pretty funny. I gotta take a picture of that. That is too funny. They put an E instead of an A. Fluoride 2018. Ah, that's funny. But isn't that beautiful? Look at that storm just crossing there with the colors. I'm just going to be quiet and let you soak that in for a little bit. Look closely, we might see some lightning over here in these rain clouds. really active, but I have been seeing a few flashes over there. There's a lot of rain there on the right moving out into the Gulf. That's up on Bonita Beach. I know, as soon as I pan the camera back, it's gonna lightning. Colors are starting to fade, starting to get dark. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. Keep all the comments positive. Keep our friend. Ooh, did you see that lightning out there? Keep our friend Roy in your thoughts and prayers. Did you see the lightning out in that cloud right out there? Again, I don't know when I'm going to be back out here. Because of Roy being in the hospital, I have to probably give up some of my beach time to visit with Roy. He's much more important though than doing a beach walk, but I'll try to keep you posted out here, and I'll try to keep you up to date with Roy. If you're sending me personal messages, I'm sorry if I'm not answering them, but they're overwhelming. There's too many of them coming. I enjoy every one of you. I like your friendship here on Facebook, but I just can't answer everybody's messages now about Roy. I will post what I know when I know it. So just keep checking back. Looks like a big mushroom out there, doesn't it? All right, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful rest of your Sunday, wherever you might be watching from. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Rob Stan. God bless.